Hello, Chem 2 students. Mr. Keister here with you again today. This is the video for Friday, November 13th, 2020, our scheduled 60th day of school for the fall semester. Always keep in mind, though, the dates could change for a variety of reasons, but the lessons and the order that those lessons are presented will remain the same regardless. So let's take a look at our do nows and see what our schedule is for today. Today you're picking up Unit 4.2 exam review. We have an exam on Monday, I believe. Yes, it is on Monday. All right, so your homework for today was to complete the nomenclature acids assignment. Turn that in. That is due now. Of course, if you're in class, that should be on my desk already. If you're at home, you need to be submitting that by the beginning of your regularly scheduled class period. So make sure you do that and do not be late. You can check your answers, of course, with the answer key. They're on the board here at school, or they are posted on the answer keys page in Canvas if you are home. Your next online homework assignment, Mastering Unit 4.2 Formulas and Names, is on now, and it is due this coming Tuesday, November 17th by 7:30 a.m. Do not forget about that. That is now open and ready to go. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, we have an exam on Monday. This study list was actually I posted in Canvas yesterday, so you could have already referred to it had you wanted to. Remember, that is on the calendar. It is also on the answer keys page. I have it in two places, just like always. So let me advance the screen and we'll talk about the test for a little bit. So the format for this exam is a little bit different than usual in that there are no math problems on it whatsoever. All right, not on this one. So let me explain as I go through the list here how the formatting will look. So there are 67 total questions on this test. 67. 32 of them are fill in the blank, and 35 are multiple choice. All right, I'll talk more about the fill in the blank here in just a minute. Study all of your nomenclature assignments, all right? There is exam material that comes from every single one of them, all right? Every single one of them, there is exam material that comes from, all right? So don't skip any of them. That could cost you. Here are the topics that will be on the exam. Number one, know how to write correct symbols and charges for both monatomic and polyatomic ions, all right? So you'll be asked to write names, or I should say formulas and charges for both monatomic and polyatomic ions. Remember, you are to have 24 polyatomic ions memorized, and you are still to have all 24 polyatomic ions memorized. And I'll say this again, I've said it before, this is not for just this unit, because in nearly all of our upcoming units, not quite all, but nearly all, you are going to have to know those as we continue on in terms of equation writing and all the things that we do with a balanced chemical equation. If you don't know what the ions are, you can't write a formula for a compound. And if you can't do that, you can't write an equation. And if you can't do that, you can't do anything with it. So this stuff's pretty crucial. All right. So thought I better tell you that again. So this section is all completely fill in the blank. There's no word bank or anything like that, all right? This is just stuff you need to know. Secondly, know how both metal and non-metal monatomic ions are formed. Remember, ions are formed by either gaining or losing electrons, depending on what type of element's involved, and how they are named, all right? How they are named. Know how to write formulas and name ionic compounds. Now, some of this section is fill in the blank, some is multiple choice. On the fill in the blank, there may be a few where there's a word bank. There may be some where there are not. So don't be reliant upon a word bank. Be reliant upon yourself that you know the material, okay? Third, know the rules and exceptions for writing symbols and charges for transition metal ions, all right? Most of them require a Roman numeral, but some do not. And if they do not, you need to know what charge they have. There's also a couple of regular metals that require Roman numerals. All others do not. Make sure you know those too. All right. Some of this section is fill in the blank and some is multiple choice. Again, if it's fill in the blank, it's possible there might be a few that have a word bank associated with them, but there are definitely some that do not. Again, so do not depend on a word bank. 4, know the prefixes for molecular compounds and how to name and write formulas for them. Again, some of this section is fill in the blank and some is multiple choice. All right. If I recall, none of those have a word bank associated with them. 5th, know how to write names and formulas for acids. Remember, we just went over this yesterday. Remember, an acid is named based on the negative ion or anion that is in the acid because they all have hydrogen ions in them as their positive ion. And again, some of this section is fill in the blank, some is multiple choice. All right. And finally, got this highlighted in blue. Remember, the rules for both naming and formula writing of ionic compounds, molecular compounds, and acids are very different. All right. The rules of nomenclature for those 3 types of compounds, ionic, molecular, and acids, the rules are all different. So make sure you keep them straight and don't get them mixed up. All right. For example, we never use a prefix with an ionic compound. All right. Never. Prefixes are used for molecular compounds. All right. Simple rule like that. You get that mixed up and you throw prefixes here, there, and everywhere, you're going to get a bunch of them wrong. All right. So be aware that the rules for each of the 3 types of compounds we went over this unit are very different, and make sure you keep them straight. Okay. I think that is all I have to tell you. So you have the rest of the period to work on your review. Of course, technically it's due today by the end of class, but as always, I will not collect the review until the day of the exam, which will be Monday. All right. So you got the weekend to figure this stuff out. If you haven't got it down already, you should. But anyway, I know you need to review it. That's fine. But just make sure you're ready for this one. Okay. So, and don't forget too that there's a mastering due on Tuesday morning at 7:30. So if you have time over the weekend, you can work on that too. So until next time, this is Mr. Keister signing off. Stay safe, everybody. Take care. Keep working hard. Stay focused and get ready for that exam. Until next time, take care.